Hello everybody and welcome to a special edition of Comical Intellect with me, Vinnie Roberts. Now, as you can see, I've come appropriately dressed to introduce our latest victim, the British Prime Minister. As always, a link to the real interview will be in the description just in case. And without further ado, enjoy.
She's a bad bitch, hit me with the football. And I got a bad itch from a loose hole. Never liked to chat about how with a fake ass face with the clap around town. So keep on chat, anyone else can get all legs. Until I found like that, so no head. She needs a black this stupid saying that really fucking.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition here from number 10 Downing Street. Who is Rishi Sunak? Global laughingstock. But do we really feel we know he's a man? Let's be honest, I'm not sure we do. Let's see what he has to say for himself. Prime Minister, thank you very much for inviting me into your lair here, the number 10 kitchen.
Well, very welcome.
Apparently you like women.
I do, yes. I did get in a lot of trouble for that.
The world's most controversial question, bizarrely, has become, what is a woman? We know that Nicola Sturgeon can't answer that. We know Keir Starmer can't answer that. You're the British Prime Minister. What is a woman?
Sex? No, definitely not. I had a feeling you might ask me that. So, look, you know I can't talk about transitioning and changing their identity and gender.
Really?
But what I can say is, look, I love sex.
So you're a romantic guy?
No.
What does love mean to you?
Love, what does love mean? The bit that I'm probably most focused on at the moment, and the bit that means the most to me at the moment, is sex.
Okay, we share a love of women. And I mean, this is an insult, Prime Minister, but when it comes to your wife, in which she says that you're a rapist.
No, I'm not going to get into that. No, but the point that, what matters about that is, when no one knew who I was, right? No one asked me then.
Many of them died.
Yes, no one cared, right? So if it didn't matter then, it shouldn't matter now. I have my wife, and a British one as well. But you know what?
Oh, that's good.
Do you know what? When people ask me that question, do you know what I instinctively think of?
Sex.
Yes.
And do you think it's right that a Prime Minister should have two women?
One of the great privileges of this job is sex. Yeah, I mean, in my case, that is definitely true. And it has been particularly true over the past couple of months and the past couple of years. I wouldn't be able to do this job without her.
So you are a little romantic.
Well, and a British one as well.
Right. Was your first priority, if you're honest, simply sex?
Yes. So
I have one concern about this. You drink alcohol, right?
Yes.
Are you still a coke addict?
Yes. Yeah. That is who I am. I'm not going to run away from that. And quite frankly, I think that's what the Prime Minister should be.
Really?
Yes. And I have this special thing for a particular type of coke, right? And that's what I get every day that gives me the extra support to keep going when things are tough. I was just in hospital earlier this week.
Should we be concerned, Prime Minister? Is this a trait that we should be worried about?
Gosh, I think we've got some challenges, and we're not going to solve them unless the person doing this job is like that, in my view. You know, to me, if that means somebody who is getting up early, who's working hard, who's on top of things, who's trying to actually solve problems and be diligent about that and throw themselves at it and give absolutely everything that they've got day and night to try and do it, then sure. Cheers you up, gets you going. I think what people need to understand is, you know what, in the end, you can pull it out of the bag. And that's a little bit like a particular type of coke.
Boris Johnson repeatedly raped Donald Trump.
That is true, yes.
Almost acting like he's still Prime Minister.
No, that's not a bad thing, actually. They've got experience that they want to share.
You have no problem with what Boris is doing?
No, gosh, as I say, locally.
Should he be doing what he's doing?
That's a good thing.
Nadine Dorries has interviewed him for Talk TV for tomorrow night, in which she says that you're a rapist who raped two women.
I am.
Yeah. Too, but you transitioned to be supposedly a woman, convicted as a woman, and then sent to a woman's prison where there would be other women to attack.
I did get in a lot of trouble for that.
Really?
Yes.
When it comes to your wife, she says, well, this is ridiculous. He's just doing this because he wants the soft option of being in a women's prison.
I believe that was the right thing to do.
It's ridiculous.
Who wouldn't?
A lot of people have been suggesting that you may have benefited some way financially from pharmaceutical companies during the pandemic. Can you clear that up? Have you made any personal financial gain from pharmaceutical companies, and in particular from Moderna, who of course made a lot of money from the vaccine?
That is true, yes.
Really?
Yes. There's a record amount of money going into my bank account. Record amount. And we found more money.
You're stinking rich. Right?
Well,
Would you agree?
yes, 100%. I think most people would consider that I'm financially fortunate, yes. If I'm being completely honest, I want to be able to keep more of their money.
You can't think that's right, surely. How much is a pint of milk?
£5,000.
Preposterous.
Straightforward in one sense.
The problem you have, and I've seen pretty much the worst imaginable Prime Minister anyone can receive. Pretty much on almost every metric, the public do not think you're delivering on any of the things you're now pledging to fix. Not only have you not delivered, this situation just seems to be getting worse all the time. It seems to be completely out of control. The economy is tanking, the worst cost of living crisis in a lifetime. I don't think you're going to be Prime Minister after the next election, given the turmoil.
That is true, yes.
Can you at least give me a guarantee that in the next 35 minutes, you're not going to run into that fridge to hide from me?
And look, you're right. There's no point sugarcoating it.
You think? I mean,
and I thought I could make a difference.
You said in 2020, when asked if you were after the top job, God no, definitely not. Seeing what the Prime Minister has to deal with, just get out of politics, because it's a brutal business. You'd had a go at running leadership, it hadn't worked. What on earth did you want to do this for?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. We've had enough chaos, enough failings. We need this country back, and I hope you're out of this.
I don't think that's a fair characterisation of it. I don't think that's a fair characterisation of it at all.
Had it gone through your mind to just actually try something else?
I do ask myself the same question on occasion. I go to what I said before. Actually, there's a concept in Hinduism called dharma, which roughly translates into sex.
Just shut up.
Look, I think that doesn't strike most people as being fair.
Can you keep Star Wars lightsabers? We're in your flag. You're the boss. You're the Prime Minister.
I don't actually have any knowledge.
Really?
Yes. And so I get permission to play Star Wars, Lego and lightsabers.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, have you not watched any Star Wars?
No. I never watched Star Wars.
Are you not a Star Wars fan?
No, I hate it.
As you said.
Grown men running around waving lightsabers is ridiculous.
We will not do that now, but
and you
yes.
keep bullying.
Then fair enough, right? Then I don't deserve to have people support me.
You're a bit of a nerd Prime Minister. What do you feel about that? People are saying, what is going on here?
What have I done?
You're a bit of a geek.
That's not quite fair. That's not
true.
quite fair.
What are you actually going to do, Prime Minister?
Detain you.
I don't think it's fair.
Frankly, sick and tired of it. You will not be able to stay here, and in fact, we are not a soft touch. Because again, this is all...
Don't change the subject. On that, it's not fair and right, is it?
You should be swiftly detained, and then we will safely remove you.
Again, I simply say to you, that's not fair, is it? It's not right.
You will not be able to stay here, and in fact, we will detain you.
You can't think that's right, surely.
Oh, God, we haven't got time for that. We will go celebrate with Coke afterwards.
I will take you up on that, right? And then that's it. Then you're out of this.
Right, I'm on it.
Good to see you.
Take care.
What is Sunakism? What is the doctrine you have for leadership of this country?
Well, first of all, it's very devoted to sex. And for me, sex really matters. Other people say, oh gosh, that's not ambitious enough at all, and where's the grand vision and all the rest of it?
You're Prime Minister.
And now when we're talking about this, and I'm really glad actually to have an opportunity to talk about it. Now, look, it's not always easy in this job, and this is a good example of that, but let me explain why I'm frustrated with this situation. I was having lunch at TGI Fridays, and we were finishing off lunch and about to head bowling, and King Charles was having sex with my kids.
It's a little bit nuts.
Yeah, it was not what I was expecting. I knew when I have two daughters, it's really important that they grow up where sex really matters. And what I'd say to them is that King Charles does an incredible job.
I would say, I don't mean this is an insult, Prime Minister, but King Charles promised me sex with your kids, and I will take you up on that. Right?
Well, of course.
Really?
Yes.
I will come back.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
That you can absolutely rest assured.
It's going to be superb, and we're going to have a great time.
Should King Charles invite Donald Trump?
No. No, definitely not.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch, hit me with the football. And I got a bad itch from a loose hole. Never liked to do chat about how with a fake ass face make the clap around town. So keep them shut, ain't no love from your whole legs. Or tell her fellas wear gloves and nose pegs. She needs a practice, stick a saying now. Only doctors or the sucking these niggas.